Yo, what's good everybody? It's me, Nitro, and I'm gonna just dump out all my E3 thoughts because why not? I don't really normally like doing videos like these. I find them very disposable. You know, in a year's time, this video's not gonna matter. I like my videos to have some shelf life, but a lot of people have been asking for it, and I think this would be a good, quick thing. I just got back from my vacation, so I've just had no content this month, and the next video is probably not gonna be out till July, so this is probably a nice thing to hold you guys over. Albeit I'm a little late on it, but either way, yeah, E3 just happened. It's totally done and over with. I watched, not all of it, I watched most of it, and I'll get to that in a second, but, yeah, I just may as well, here's what I think of these games. So the first conference that happened was EA's, and I did not watch it. I just wasn't around when it happened. I was, like, out doing stuff. I didn't even know what was going on, and I don't care about anything EA has to show. Apparently they showed a new Star Wars game. I don't know, I still haven't looked that up, but yeah, that is my review of EA's. I didn't watch it. Bethesda was next. Yeah, I don't really care too much about Bethesda, but I do care about a lot of the studios that they publish for, like id and Machine Games, and then Tango Softworks, the people that make Evil Within, which is, as you guys know, Evil Within is like one of my favorite survival horror games, but yeah, I thought Bethesda's was, like, pretty good. I mean, they didn't really have a whole lot of gigantic announcements for me, but I think the way they handled the conference and their performance, I don't really call it performance, but them being up on the stage, what they said, how they handled it, I think was really well. Firstly, they started off with Rage 2, which I thought was hilarious, that they were firing shots at Walmart. They're like, yeah, our good friends Walmart, who are really good at keeping a secret, like, they were not happy. They're letting the world know they're not happy, and I thought that was fantastic. Rage 2 just looks like, I don't know, an open world post-apocalyptic game. I don't know anything about Rage. I'm sorry. It's by a new developer. It's by the people who made the Mad Max game. I heard that game is good, so honestly, I don't think there's like a better developer that's like just kind of sitting around that they could slap on that game, so that could be cool. They announced a new Doom, didn't show gameplay, but like, the new Doom game, I never finished it, but that game's sick, so yeah, awesome. They're finally making a sequel to it, and it is the same developers. They showed some Wolfenstein 2 DLC, or it's not really DLC as much as it is an expansion, because the New Order had that, the Old Blood expansion that a lot of people tell me is even better than the original game, and that launched on disc as well as being downloadable, so this is Wolfenstein the New Blood. Probably going to be a similar thing where you're playing as BJ's twin daughters, which is interesting because, you know, BJ's wife is pregnant during the game, so it's like, okay, these are his daughters, you get to see them grown up and they're kicking ass, and that'll be cool. I haven't played the Old Blood. I've played Wolfenstein 1 and 2, but based on what people tell me about the Old Blood, I'm sure this will turn out pretty good. A lot of people seem to really like the Old Blood, so now it's the new Old Blood, the New Blood. Let's see what that's going to be. That could be sick. They finally showed off with this Fallout Vault 732, 90210, whatever it's called, 76, Vault 70, I don't remember. It's a number. Who cares? It is going to be an online game. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be. They made it sound like it wasn't going to be like this online game. They kind of beat around the bush for like a good 10 minutes before they're like, and every other NPC is a real player, just like you, because it's online. So, you know, this is a logical decision. They made the Elder Scrolls Online, so I guess a Fallout Online. I don't know if it's really the same sort of online. I don't know if it's a straight-up MMO, or if it's just kind of like a thing with online elements. But it's a logical step, you know. They made Bethesda they made Elder Scrolls Online. Let's do Fallout Online. So yeah, sure. It's not something I'll be interested in. I've said this a million times. I do not care about Elder Scrolls or Fallout. I just don't find those games fun. But a lot of people I know who do like Fallout are very excited for this. So that could be cool, I guess, for them. What was the last thing they showed? Oh yeah, then they showed Elder Scrolls 6, which again, the logical new thing. It was really funny though, before they got to this announcement, they actually, like, Todd Howard came out, and I do not like Todd Howard, but I think he was really funny and handled this conference well. They addressed how, like, people make fun of them for porting Skyrim to everything. They made this video with Keegan-Michael Key, who I love, he's hilarious, and they ported Skyrim to the Alexa, to the fridge, and it was funny. That was hilarious. So it was really cool to see them, like, kind of acknowledge that joke, and I guess that kind of brought some closure. It's like, no, we're just joking, there's no more Skyrim ports. Instead, brand new Elder Scrolls, so I thought that was a good way of handling that, kind of acknowledging the joke, even having a hilarious comedian in the skit, and then just kind of being like, okay, actually there's no more Skyrim ports. At least that's the message I got. He didn't say that, but that's the message I got from it. So that was cool. I like Bethesda's conference a lot. The only thing I'm really interested in is like the new Doom and that Wolfenstein expansion. Totally gonna play those. Other than that, nothing really there I'm interested in, but I like the conference itself. So, good on you, Bethesda. I think Square Enix was next, or Square Enix, whatever you want to say. I know it's the internet, so no one on the planet is ever going to be able to agree on how any word is said, but I've always said Square Enix. So, I think Square Enix was next, and they didn't really show off a lot that I was interested in. My friends, I was watching it with some friends, and they seemed to be, like, rooting at the TV. They're excited, so I guess this is cool news. They showed, like, a brand new Dragon Quest, which is big news. I've never played any of those games. I have, like, 7 or 8 on the PS2. I've been meaning to play that forever. The only Dragon Quest game I've ever played was, like, the first one when I was a kid. I think a friend had it on NES or something, and I played it briefly. But yeah, I know nothing about those games, so that's apparently a huge announcement, but I apologize, it's just not. This is gonna be, just to let you know, this is most news. Like, I'm one man, I only play so much, so like, most E3 news is not something I'm pumped about. So, I'll get to the stuff that I am pumped about in a bit, but they showed new Just Cause 4, which I thought that was kind of unexpected. Like, I feel like they just had Just Cause 3. Didn't that come out, like, only 2 years ago? I remember people didn't really like it. It was free on PS Plus 1 month, and I played a bit of it, and I just thought it was kind of a downgrade from Just Cause 2 in a way. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it, even though I like Just Cause 2 a lot. But yeah, Just Cause 4 is apparently a thing. Hopefully that turns out good, because I know a lot of people didn't like 3, and I think it'd be cool to get back on the horse, you know, slap yourself, get back on track with a cool new Just Cause game after, you know, the previous one was disappointing. It looks like they're gonna have, like, a lot of crazy weather effects, and then a game all about destructions, having, like, stuff like tornadoes and lightning storms. I think that's a really good idea, so that could work. One of the biggest things they showed was Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the 3rd installment in the Tomb Raider reboot series. This is another series I've been meaning to play for, like, forever. I played the first Tomb Raider game when I was in high school. I borrowed it from a friend, and I just couldn't really get into it. I only played like 2 hours of it. I thought the opening was very strong, you know, the puzzles and stuff were kind of cool, but when it got to the combat stuff, I just kind of felt it was just another shooter game. But I didn't get into it far enough to really make a proper assessment. So, this new one looks crazy, though. Like, Lara Croft is straight up Rambo. She's in, and I don't mean Rambo 3 Rambo, I mean Rambo 1 Rambo. First Blood Rambo. She's in the woods. She's covered in, like, all this camouflage stuff. This is probably stuff he did in the previous Tomb Raiders, but it is, like, super stealth, like, setting up traps. It was looking cool as hell. So, honestly, I kind of do want to get back into the series and play them all just to check out this new one, because it looks really good. They showed some Final Fantasy Online stuff, which I've never been into MMOs, so, I don't, whatever. They showed a side game of that Life is Weird game. Life is Strange, not Life is Weird, where you play as, like, the kid. Again, another game never played, and you just, sorry guys, I can't tell you much about this one. Me don't know it. One thing that was really interesting was they showed a brand new trailer, or a new trailer for a brand new IP called Babylon's Fall. And I remember when I was watching through the trailer, they kept showing times and dates and years, and I was thinking, Chrono Trigger. This has got to be like a Chrono Trigger reboot. No, it was just a new IP. It's being made by Platinum, though, so despite them not showing any gameplay, just the word Platinum Games, that's a reason to stick to it and check it out later. So hopefully, I don't know if they got gameplay up for it now. I don't know why I'm putting it on my computer. Like, that's where it is. That's where the gameplay is. I don't know. I'm always interested in Platinum stuff, because Platinum makes good shit, so that could be cool. That's gonna be like my response to any of this. Like, didn't show gameplay, but it could be cool. I'm trying to keep in a good attitude. They also showed a lot of Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. They had, like, a lot of new trailers. They showed one here, and then they showed another one at, like, Sony's, and I think they showed another one at Xbox's. But yeah, that new Kingdom Hearts, I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game, but, like, it's really interesting to see all of these Disney properties with the new graphics. It's so crazy to see how good the graphics are, like, almost on par with the CG films. They got Frozen in there, which I don't care at all about. They got Pirates of the Caribbean, which it's really interesting, like, seeing the almost photorealistic graphics beside the cartoonish graphics, and a lot of people say that kind of clashes, but I just think it's interesting because it shows like how powerful hardware is. You can render like an amazing cartoon character and an amazing realistic looking character, and I think like while they don't go together, it's just cool to see this kind of graphical prowess in both categories in the same game. So I think it's more like impressive to me. While yeah, maybe it does not look like it goes together, I just think it's cool. Oh yeah, there was like this brand new thing, another brand new IP trailer that did not show gameplay, but again, the concept alone is kind of interesting. It shows this guy, and he's deaf, and he's like, like he points at his ear, and he's like, no, he can't hear. And it looks like it's some sort of combat game. I was getting like, you know the PS2 game God Hand? I was getting kind of a vibe like that. I can't imagine it'd be as ridiculous as that game, because that game's crazy and wacky and awesome. But yeah, I think, what was it called? The, what was it called? I have the page up. What was, I swear I just said the name of it. Well, The Quiet Man. Yeah, because I was making jokes how it's like the bye-bye man, but he can't say bye-bye because he can't speak, but no, it's the Quiet Man. He's deaf. So that could be really interesting. I'm imagining this game with like no sound, or maybe like muffled sound, or some sort of I don't know, a combat game about a deaf guy. That could be very interesting. Again, that's gonna be a reaction to everything because it didn't show gameplay, but that's a concept I do like. That could be cool. So I'm gonna be interested in seeing what that game plays like. I watched E3 when I was on vacation in the midst of doing like a lot of other stuff with my friends, so I don't really have this all dedicated to memory right now, so I kind of got to list stuff. They showed new Octopath Traveler. I feel like I'm the only person that's not interested in that game. I don't think that game looks... I don't like the art style. I know it's like the sprites but in a 3D space, and like, I don't know, the 3D sprites, like blocky sprites with like lots of bloom and lens flares, I just don't think it, I don't know, I'm just not on board with that. A lot of people tell me that it looks cool, but I don't know. Not the one for me. Yeah, I think that's just about everything. I'm sure I'm missing tons of stuff here, so let me know down in the comments like, hey, I didn't talk about this just because I only got a tiny brain and can't talk about everything. But if I were to take one thing from Square's, it'd be that new Tomb Raider game. It's looking fine as hell. So yeah, what's next? I think I missed Microsoft's. Yeah, I forgot to talk about Microsoft. I didn't catch this one live, but my friends and I put it on while we were waiting for Bethesda's, and wow. Honestly, Microsoft had a pretty good conference this year. What I love about Microsoft is I'm not a Xbox gamer. I'm all about PlayStation, all about Nintendo, those my boys. I've never been on board with Microsoft because I find their exclusives are just games I don't care about. It's Halo and Gears, and that's like all they have, while PlayStation's got Uncharted and Little Big Planet and all of these awesome IPs, and Nintendo's got Mario, Zelda, Pikmin. I don't know why Pikmin was the third one I picked out of that instead of like anything else, but I just really like Pikmin. Then that's all you need. Nintendo got Pikmin. That's all you need for me. But yeah, the thing about Microsoft is since they don't have so many exclusives, they show a lot of third-party stuff that's multi-platform, and that's why I love watching Microsoft, because here is where they announce a game or two that I'm going to be able to play, but this time they announced a lot of awesome stuff. I think they started off by showing the new Halo. Yeah, that's inevitable. That's not exciting news to me. I've never cared about the Halo series. I don't think I've played Halo 2 and 3 briefly. That was it. The new From Software game. Alright, so here's a little non-E3 going off topic thing about me. I've like avoided the whole Souls series like the plague, because here's a fun little story. Back when it first came out, the first Dark Souls came out, that's when it started getting popular, and all of my friends were really into it. And I would watch my friend Alex play Dark Souls, and I watched my friend Nathan play Dark Souls, and I thought it looked awesome. And I borrowed it on 3 separate occasions, and each time I could not get into it. And then it just became this super popular thing that people would never stop talking about, and I just got really annoyed by it. And Bloodborne came out, and I just ignored it. And when Neo came out, I played the beta for that, and I was like in love with it. And after beating Neo, I just really wanted to play another Souls game. Wanted to give it a second chance, and knowing I did not like Dark Souls, I finally gave Bloodborne a shot, and I couldn't get into it, and then just like a month ago, I tried getting into it again, and like, man, it is just one of the best PS4 games I've ever played, and I beat Bloodborne last night, and like, now I'm in love with like, FromSoft, because, well, I still gotta give Dark Souls another shot. I don't know if I will, but like, man, After coming off Bloodborne, I'm thirsty for more FromSoft stuff, and they got like a new samurai game, because they teased it back at the Game Awards. They just showed like a scroll, a close-up, like a macro lens close-up of like some kanji on a scroll, and some people were thinking it was going to be like a new Kuon game, but no, it's a brand new IP. It's called something something Shadows Die Twice, and it looks so sick. Like it's interesting because Team Ninja just did Nioh, that Souls-like samurai game, and now they're doing their own Souls-like samurai game, except like apparently there's no leveling up. It's just all about gadgets. You saw this one where he had like this grappling like hookshot thing, brrr, and it looks like they're combining a lot of like it looks like they're taking the gadgets of Zelda with the combat of the Souls games. And like the bosses are a totally different direction from Nioh. While Nioh kind of stuck to yokai mythology, here it's more like big dudes with a lot of crazy weapons rather than monsters. And it looks very unique from Nioh. I'm very impressed with how different it looks like it's going to play from a traditional Souls game. I don't even know what's going to be like a Souls game, but it's from software, so that's kind of the assumption. I think a lot of people seem to forget they used to make a lot of different types of games before Souls, like Armored Core and King's Field and the Echo Knight games. I think Shadows Die Twice looks so cool. I'm excited for that. They finally showed Crackdown 3. This has been a game that's been in development hell. It's been getting delayed again and again and again. They got Terry Crews voicing the main character. Terry Crews is big, wacky, and fun. That's fitting for Crackdown. Again, I've never played any of these games. I've never been an Xbox guy, but I'm glad to see that this is finally something that is happening. I think they got... did they have a release date on it? I think they have a release date. Yeah. Actual release date of February 2019. Hopefully they stick to that, because I know a lot of people that have been very itching to play this. Yeah, that's cool. They finally got that out. They showed a new Metro. Yeah, they showed this Metro last year. It's like I don't know. I've never played these games. Metro Exodus. I'm just going to skip over a couple of ones that I'm not familiar with. Forza Horizon. That's just a kind of game. They make another Forza every couple of years. So yeah, that's inevitable. The Division 2. This was something that a lot of people kind of saw coming. Again, another logical thing. Like what I hear about The Division... I'm stuttering a lot. I'm really tired from the trip still. Sorry. But what I hear a lot about The Division, it is a good game with a lot of problems. It's one of those things I hear a lot of people want a sequel to. And I mean, I have faith in Ubisoft to an extent when it comes to sequels, because I mean, like, Watch Dogs was such a unimpressive game, and then they made Watch Dogs 2, which was one of my favorite games of that year, you know? So I've never played The Division, and I know a lot of people that do like it despite its shortcomings, so hopefully this will be the version of it that people will be more so on board with and will enjoy even more. I mean, this is all just kind of fluff talk, you know, yeah, they made the sequel better, and I'm not really adding much to the table here. But yeah, that's all I can really say about games that I'm not really familiar with. So I apologize for that. Oh yeah, they showed Session. Okay, this is a game I'm a little giddy about, because when I was young, I loved skateboarding and snowboarding games. I was a big fan of Tony Hawk, and I was a die-hard fan of the SSX games. Mostly Tricky, but I played 3 as well on my sister's PS2. But yeah, there has not been like a good next-gen skateboarding game in so long. I think Skate 3 was the last, like, probably good skateboarding game that was popular, and that was only on, like, PS3 and Xbox 360. Then Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 came out, and I think we all know what a disaster that was. And Session was this game that was kickstarted a while back, and now they're finally showing off gameplay, and it looks like, this looks like a next-gen skateboarding game. That's all I can really say about it. That's just what I want, is a next-gen skateboarding game. It looks freaking dope. And I love how this trailer was filmed on like a fisheye lens. You can see the guy's shadow filming it while he's running a skateboard too, because that's what skate videos are like. I can't imagine how gameplay would act like that, but if there's like a replay mode that lets you view the replays like that, that would be amazing. I'm really hoping it nails the skateboard culture. You gotta get the music. You need the ska in there. Maybe I'm being like a little ignorant, naive, but that's kind of what I think when I think skateboarding games. Is just you need that very specific genre of music in there too. I'm hoping that they get like the environments for it. But like judging by the trailer, yes, it looks precisely what I want from a new skateboarding game, so that's gonna be sick. They showed a new Gears of War game. It's a Funko Pop Gears of War? Like what is this, like a Lego Star Wars kind of deal where they make like a toy version of the games? I don't know. I felt kind of confused. I think Funko Pops are like the worst thing ever made. I don't know why they're doing this. There's going to be some Cuphead DLC that's going to be sick. They showed Dying Light 2, which I didn't think they were going to make a sequel to Dying Light. Maybe there was some news about this before that I missed, but I don't know anything about that game. I just know it's a zombie game. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Oh, there's this really cute looking game called Tunic. It's this very like a Zelda 1 looking inspired game where you play as this little fox. The guy that makes this is actually from the same hometown I'm from in Nova Scotia, which is wild. I know a lot of, I actually have a couple of friends I think that like know the guys. That's wild, dude. Devil May Cry 5. Man, I think the way they unveiled this was really cool because they started off with Nero, and Nero kinda looked like the DMC Dante, so this whole trailer I was thinking, oh, it's just like DMC 2, but then at the end you see Dante on the motorcycle, and like, the combat looks amazing, and like, man, it's running on the RE7 engine, and that engine is so good at rendering people. Like, the new girl character, like, she has this overbite, like, she doesn't look like a fantasy character. She has this really realistic-looking facial features, and it looks like a photograph when you're looking at the renders of them. And, not Dante, Nero's got, like, that robotic, well, I remember he had, like, the gauntlet arm before, and now he's got a straight-up, like, cyborg arm, and, man, it looks sick. Yeah, I'm really glad they're cutting the axe to the DMC, because this is exactly what fans wanted. I never played DMC. I hear people say it's not as bad as it was, but just from like a story perspective, characters perspective, design perspective, people wanted DMC 5 and not DMC Devil May Cry. So that's awesome that they're doing this. That was huge. Capcom at it with the big announcements, and we'll get to another one later that I'm super excited for. You guys know what it is. But after that, man, they finally dropped a new trailer for Cyberpunk 2077. Is that what it is? It's 2077. I get the numbers wrong all the time, and people get mad as hell at me, so I'm gonna look it up. 2077. Hey, I was right. Shouldn't doubt myself, even though I should, because I always get the numbers because of, what did I call Fallout? Fallout 90210? Whatever. This is a game made by the people who make the Witcher series, CD Projekt Red. These are a fantastic developer. Witcher is the only series I know where every game is like just so much better. Like the first Witcher is a good concept but very like clunky gameplay. The second one is a much better version but very hard to get into, very high learning curve. And Witcher 3 was just like a mind-blowing masterpiece. These are developers that are so prone to learning and getting better. And after playing Witcher 3, I've been so excited to see what this new project's gonna be. They showed a trailer for it years ago, just a CG concept trailer, and they said, coming when it's finished. And now we have like a release date. It's coming out like only next year, I think. Was it 2018 or 2019? Again, I gotta look up my cheat sheet. I don't know, I'm not seeing a release date on it. I heard something about it coming out 2019, which is crazy. Maybe it'd be 2020, I don't know. Either way, yeah, that's a game I've been very interested in seeing, and it was just a CG trailer, but the thing about CG trailers for a CD Projekt Red game, like the Witcher games, big part of this game is the narrative and the world. Like, if you just showed me a trailer showing off the Witcher's world, I'd be content if I didn't know what the gameplay looked like yet, and that's exactly the situation here. It's just showing what the world looks like. It's because a big part of these games is just talking to people, getting the quests, and seeing how all the world interacts with each other and stuff, and yeah, just showing the world, I think, was a good move, even if we didn't get gameplay yet. I think they said it was going to be a first-person game, which immediately just gives me visions of, like, Deus Ex, because that's also a cyberpunk game in first-person. But this is going to be, like, a lot more exaggerated fantasy cyberpunk, like, a lot more punk, I'd say, than Deus Ex was. Deus Ex was a lot more cyber than punk, and this is way more punk. So, yeah. It was awesome to finally see what this game is going to look like, even if we didn't see gameplay. Very excited for that. I think I'm getting these totally out of order, because I can't remember anything that would save my life. But I think next up was Ubisoft, or Ubisoft if you want to say it that way. I'm pretty sure Ubisoft is the correct like French pronunciation, but everyone says Ubisoft. I don't know, French people say, I've always said Ubisoft. I don't care! Don't make fun of me! What am I talking about? Okay, Ubisoft, they start off by showing the new Just Dance, is what they always do every year. They got everyone coming marching in costumes, and it's super big fun, and I'm just sitting there, and I know it's supposed to be fun, but I'm just sitting there like, I just want to see the game. I mean, I don't watch E3 for dance performance, I watch it to see games, and like, even if it is fun, and if I was there, I'd be having a blast, but like, I was just waiting for them to stop dancing and show me the games, and then they stopped dancing, and they showed me the games, and it was Beyond Good and Evil 2, a brand new trailer, still no gameplay. I mean, there was snippets of beta gameplay that Michel Ancel showed, outside of E3, so I've already seen gameplay of the game, and it does look very, very fun. But a new CG trailer, and man, Ubisoft loves dropping their budget on huge the CG trailers, and I think they do that because that sells their games a lot. Like, the Assassin's Creed games always have a high-budget CG trailer, and those games sell crazily well. So, I'm hoping that they can hype up Beyond Good and Evil 2 as this, like, because no one bought Beyond Good and Evil 1, even though that game was like a million years ahead of its time. It's one of the best games ever freaking made. Please play that game. I love that game to death. And I'm so glad they're finally making Beyond Good and Evil 2. Even if it's going to be a very different kind of game than originally. It's a prequel now, and I thought it was going to be, like, way back. Because there was that concept art of what looked like Jade's father with like a little baby Paige, but now we saw Paige in this trailer and he was an adult. He looked a little younger than Uncle Paige, as we know from Beyond Good and Evil 1, and then we saw a younger looking Jade. She's mad, she looks like she's with the bad guys. I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad to know, yes, Paige and Jade are in the game as main characters. Well, maybe they're side characters, because it seems like that monkey, Noxie, and then the girl with the Knuckles Knox? Is that his name? I don't know. The girl with the afro called him Noxie. I'm guessing it's a nickname. So Nox and the girl with the afro, I think they're going to be like some of the main characters that you'll like be playing as. But yeah, Jade and Paige are in the game, so it's not as far back as I thought. And it looks like it's going to tie into the story of Beyond Good and Evil 1 very nicely. And Michel Ancel originally planned this to be a trilogy, so hopefully if this game sells well, Ubisoft will be like, oh, here's more budget to make a third game, and then they'll make the third one, and it'll be continuing off of the ending of Beyond Good and Evil 1, because that's what I was hoping to see. But either way, yeah. Glad this game's happening. Oh yeah, there was a big controversy about this game. So prior to this whole current controversy, last year they announced it alongside this thing called the Space Monkey program, which, if you think back to Mega Man Legends 3, had a similar thing, and they canceled that game because not enough people were on board with it. But basically, you can sign up for the Space Monkey program, and the directors of the games and developers are like putting out content, being like, here's a screenshot, here's a song from it, tell us what you think of it, give us ideas, pitch us tell us what you want in the game, and they take it all into consideration. Now they're taking it another step forward with Joseph Goron Levi's. What's his name? I don't know. That actor that's in the Batman movie, one of them, and Hit Record. That's what it is. So basically it's them taking it another step further, being like, oh, now you can actually create assets like music and artwork and stuff, send it to us and we'll pay you for it. And the way I see it is it's Ubisoft trying to deliver this passion project in a more passionate way, because this is one of Ubisoft's least popular IPs, so they want to really cater this to the core fans. Now they're even letting the core fans get paid to help contribute to it. A lot of people aren't seeing it that way. Some people are seeing it as Ubisoft lowballing and paying people dirt nothing to make their game for them. I don't think it's really that extreme. I don't think they're really paying a lot of people to make this game for them. I think they're just being like, hey, if you want, this is a high production game, if you want something you made in the game, hey, you made a song? Hey, maybe we'll put that in the game. We'll even pay you for it. When you put it that way, it sounds cool, but I also understand, I'm cracking my knuckles, so I hope that's not distracting. I hope, well, I also see this argument where people are seeing it in this very negative light, thinking it's just a very scummy thing. There's been some people who've posted about their thing with Hit Record before, their experiences, saying that they felt very underpaid for their contributions. So, the way I see it, if you're an artist looking to get paid, don't get involved. If you are a Beyond Good and Evil fan and you want something you made to maybe be in the game, I think this is for those people more so than people looking for opportunities to work. I see both sides of the argument, and I'm kind of leaning towards it's not as bad as people make me out to be, but again, I'm not an artist, I'm not in that. Well, maybe you can consider me an artist. I film myself taking a piss. That ain't art. That's art to somebody. Maybe I am an artist. I don't know. But I understand that people are upset with this. But I really don't think it's as evil and terrible as some people are making it out to be. Elijah Wood came out and they showed this weird-looking game called Transference, where, like, it had live-action cutscenes. I don't know if that was just for the trailer, but it looks like it's gonna have live-action cutscenes or live-action, like, snippets of people talking to you, but it looks like this Inception game where you're walking around people's dreams where you're, like, hooked up to a machine like the Animus, or... I really didn't know what to take from it. It just looked like this surreal horror thing, and I love surreal horror, so I'm definitely wanting to see more of what this game plays like and what your goal in this game is, but I didn't really get much from it. I was probably not paying much attention because I was, like, in a room with friends and it's Ubisoft, and we just see Elijah Wood come out and he's like, and we're just, like, too busy eating pizza to pay attention. So, I gotta look back into that one. They showed Skull and Bones. That's that game that's Assassin's Creed 4, but it's not Assassin's Creed. It's just Black Flag, like this pirate ship game. Because that's a very interesting direction. Because Assassin's Creed 4, a lot of people loved it, but I said this before. I said this like a Pac-Man video. Why am I talking about Assassin's Creed a Pac-Man video? I said, like, Black Flag is super fun, but any part of that game that's actually Assassin's Creed gameplay on land is boring as hell. So here they're taking away the Assassin's Creed, making it just Black Flag, and they actually showed a lot of gameplay. We got, like, the CG trailer, but they showed what the game is going to be like. You can really customize your ship. I mean, you could in Black Flag, but even to a much more detailed extent. You can, like, swap out all the cannons, the sails and stuff, and you get, like, and there is, like, more than just sailing. You can jump on other people's boats and have, like, combat. It kind of just looked like Assassin's Creed-ish combat, but maybe, like, less focus on that because there's more focus on sailing ship. But yeah, that looks cool. I'm probably not going to get it, but I know a lot of people who love pirate games and love Black Flag. This is going to be the game for them. I'm sure it looks better than, what was that Microsoft Rare game? Sea of Thieves! It looks better than that. I can say that much. Ubisoft, where are we? They showed a new Trials game. I never played Trials. This one looks like you can wipe out, and, like, after you wipe out, your ragdoll physics still count. So that looks fun. Like, some challenges would require eating shit and then having your body flop across the finish line. That's a great idea. Surprised Trials haven't done something like that before. Hasn't done something like that before. My grammar's all over the place. I apologize. I'm tired as hell. Yeah, maybe they have done that, but yeah, it looks like another Trials game, but at least they're doing something a little more fun with it, in my opinion, at least. They showed the Division 2 again. Yeah, they already showed it at Microsoft. They showed more of it, though. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This was one of the last things they showed. Yeah, it just looks like another Assassin's Creed game. It's exactly what I expected. It's just the AC Origins engine, which, mind you, AC Origins was like the first good Assassin's Creed game since, like, Brotherhood, in my opinion. I loved Origins. It was so good. It was mostly because, like, the setting is one of my favorite settings, Ancient Egypt. I love Ancient Egypt, and the combat and the leveling up system, I mean, it had a leveling up system. You leveled up your character. And the combat, I think Assassin's Creed fell out of that whole, like, really uninvolved but stylish looking combat. Like, you hit a button and your character does a cool flip and kills a guy and it feels good even though there's not really much substance to it. Origins did the complete opposite. If you're watching gameplay, it doesn't look very flashy or satisfying, but it is a much more involved, and you're, like, actually much more skill requiring combat system. So it looks like it's just exactly that AC Origins engine, just a new story, new location. They're doing ancient Greece this time, which they've done some stuff like around Greece. They've done like Rome before, but this was like, I think Brotherhood was like 17th century Rome, 16th century Rome, or somewhere around then. This is like hella BC. This is like 200 BC. You got like Socrates in there. That's a Bill and Ted joke. Please don't go to the comments and tell me I said Socrates wrong. It's not worth. Don't get mad. Get money. They got Socrates in there. That was like the only historical figure that I saw from the trailer. Though it looked very buggy. Like, character animations look very stiff. I see those stiff keyframes in there. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't really notice it watching it on my phone, but when I'm watching it on big screen again, the trailer, it's like, yeah, these character animations look very stiff. It's coming out this year, too, and a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, it's still in development. No, those are finished animations. I'll tell you that right now. They're not, between now and the game releasing, they're not going to go back and redo all of the game's animations for the cutscenes. Those animations are kind of stiff. Maybe I'm stupid, I'm wrong as hell, but I saw some people mad that you can play as a girl in this one. I think that's fine that you can play as a girl. I mean, people tend to forget that a lot of girls play games, and I mean, like, imagine if you're a dude, and every game you play as a girl, you'd probably want at least 1 or 2 games you can pick a boy, right? So, I don't think it's unreasonable. I've seen a lot of controversy over it. This controversy is so stupid. People like, because you can be a lesbian in this game. People are like, yeah, that's not historically accurate. You don't know anything about Greece. If you don't, Greece is the horniest time period in all of history. There were hella gay people in ancient Greece, dude. I learned about Greece in, like, ancient history in grade 10, and my teacher was, like, straight up like, yeah, these people like to fuck. And, like, it didn't matter if you were a boy or girl, they like to fuck. Yeah, so that's a crock of crap saying it ain't historically accurate. I think it's fine. I think this controversy is stupid. I don't want to get too far into this, because people like to get mad when they should be getting money, but yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, again, it's just another Assassin's Creed game. I had my fill with Origins. I don't care enough about ancient Greece to be like, yeah, I'm gonna pay another 60, 70 bucks for this one. But, hey, if it's running on the Origins engine, you like Greece better, sure, it'll be a cool game still, probably, but in the end, it's still just gonna be another Assassin's Creed game. Honestly, I think the next Assassin's Creed game I'll be excited for is when they finally reinvent it again, because this is just another continuation of Origins. Origins was great because it was a reinvention, so I'm just gonna wait for the next time they do that. Oh yeah, and like, the last thing they showed was the Starling game, which is like another one of those Toys to Life game, but I thought it was like a Voltron game, because the character models look very like, I've never watched Voltron, so forgive my ignorance, but it looks very like Voltron cartoony-ish. Character designs, but it's like this space battle game where you go around, you fly to different planets and stuff, and then this is funny, I was in the bathroom taking a pee-pee, and like, my pants are just halfway down, and I hear Brady scream, "James, get the fuck back in here!" And I come back out, like, I didn't even get to go pee, my pants are halfway down, I'm pulling them back up, and I see Star Fox on screen, I'm like, yo! And I didn't realize it was still Starlink, and it wasn't a new, I thought it was going to be Ubisoft's developing a new Star Fox game. It wasn't, it's just, you can play as Star Fox in the Starlink game. Cool, I guess. I wish I just got to use the bathroom. Thanks, Brady. I think it's multi-platform, but in the Switch version you can play as Star Fox. Yeah. I don't really much to say about that. I've never been too keen on games where you pilot ships. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I don't like Star Fox that much just because you just pilot a ship. I'm just not big into piloting ships and nothing else. So yeah, it's not a game I'm really interested in. And next, there was Sony. Sony finally had their conference, and a lot of people were very disappointed in it, saying that they didn't show much, even though they said beforehand they were only going to be showcasing 4 games. So I'm surprised they even showed more than that. But yeah, they said from the very beginning they're only going to show 4 lengthy gameplay demos of Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, I don't know, people get mad at me because I say Japanese words wrong, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man. Why couldn't I remember that? All these games look good. They started off with Last of Us. It was really weird. They did this big gimmicky thing where they were like in a church, and I was just sitting there thinking, where's the big flashy screen? They just had the one TV, and I'm like, this is, did they have a lower budget this year or something? Then I realized, oh, they made this specifically because when the trailer came up, they were in that church, and I thought it wasn't nearly as cool as they were hoping it would be. Then there was like a 10-minute intermission to get everyone out of the church and back into like the real auditorium. But yeah, the Last of Us 2 gameplay. Last of Us 2 is a game I'm very interested in seeing. I was interested in seeing because Last of Us 1 is such an amazing game story-wise. Like, Naughty Dog are like top of the line writing, character developing, and that game's story is just get Ellie to somewhere, but it's about the journey, not the destination, right? And they're just so good. Like, I don't think a game's made me cry as much as Last of Us. It is such an amazing story, but the gameplay, I always felt it was just so overrated in that way. It just felt like a very par survival game. You know, like, it's just the typical crouch walking behind a dude, push a button, take him out, and just very easy to work around AI, and just, I don't know, it just was very, I found it very unchallenging, found it very, like, I thought Evil Within was a more interesting survival game, you know, and a lot of people don't even like that game. So I really want Last of Us 2 to be like, okay, now we're going to make it... It'll be a fantastic story like before, but it'll also be like an actually very well-designed and... I want a game from Naughty Dog that breaks boundaries. So I just felt like Last of Us did not break boundaries in its genre. I just felt like doing stuff games have already done before. Last of Us Part 2, it kind of looks more of the same of Last of Us 1. There's the crouch walking, though a lot of it felt very tense. Like, the animation was crazy. Ellie, you're playing as Ellie in this one. She did a couple of backwards dodges that were very well animated, and after she did it the third time, it made me realize that's a button press. You're pushing a button to dodge like that. So there's a dodge button now. It looks like there's a lot more visceral melee combat. If there's a dodge button, then there's going to be a little bit more involved instead of just mashing a button. Though she did go into like this brutal thing for just beating the crap out of this guy with like a plank of wood or something, and that still looks like you're just mashing a button to do all that. But there's this really tense moment when she went under a truck, and she had the gun aimed, and the person looked under the truck and she shot him, and then everyone heard. It was like, okay, this game looks stressful in a really interesting way. So even if it just looks like, yeah, you're just mashing the button some more to take out dudes, it looks like the hiding and stuff is very tense. So I think that's at least something that they are doing a lot better than last time. But yeah, you know Naughty Dog, they're the top of the line when it comes to like graphical prowess and animation, and like I've never seen a game look so organic, like just the way the facial animation on just dudes that are trying to come after you. Like when she looked under the, man, yeah. I'm very impressed with this graphics-wise, but I'm still a little skeptical just because Last of Us 1 I found so underwhelming, gameplay-wise. But yeah, it's looking promising. I definitely want to see more from it. Then they showed Death Stranding, which is a game, of course, Kojima's my boy. Metal Gear was like my favorite series ever for the longest time, and we finally saw gameplay of this. Though a lot of people were very disappointed by it, however, Kojima tweeted out he wanted to make a trailer he wanted to make this trailer very unique from the other games. Other game trailers, so it was the only trailer that featured no violence. There was no gunfire, there's no people getting killed. It was just this very solemn environment, a lot of walking, and this very quiet trailer. So we got some more cinematics. One thing Brady noticed, or was it Brady? Maybe it was Jackson. I don't know, one of the friends I was with noticed that when the photograph was on the ground, the handprint went into the sand. However, the photo was unaffected. So it's almost like these things are walking underneath, kind of like the Upside Down from Stranger Things or something like that. Or maybe that photograph they couldn't make physical contact with. I don't know. The game's looking weirder than ever. It's looking as beautiful as ever, but the gameplay's a lot of walking around. It looks like you're delivering. It looked like he had someone strapped to his back, maybe a body, maybe someone he's trying to save. A lot of like these little boxes all tied together. It looks like a delivery game. Maybe he's trying to deliver some pizzas in this post-apocalyptic world. Man, like when you got invisible demons coming after you, you got to get hungry. You got to deliver a pizza. Norman Reed. This is what the game's about. It's just like, man, I can't go outdoors because evil demons are gonna kill me. Call up the pizza man, Norman Reed. It's Death Stranding Pizza Man, that's what the game's about. Anyway, no. The game looks terrifying, and I theorized this based on the previous trailer they showed at the Game Awards, where they had that flappy thing that plugged into the baby, and the flappy thing, it looks like it's showing you where enemies are, because these enemies are like pseudo-invisible, semi-invisible, they're like kind of, man, do you remember the invisible children in Silent Hill 1 that appeared in like the final level? There's only one or two. Man, it looks like the whole game is just that. And I think that is a brilliant mechanic. These things are invisible, and this thing's showing you where they are in gameplay. And it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. That looks terrifying. This game looks very good at being scary. Very good at playing with anticipation. Like, I can't imagine walking by those things, trying not to get seen. It looks like it's kind of like a stealth game, which is expected from Kojima. But it also looks like a straight-up horror game. And, man, a lot of people were disappointed with what they showed, but I'm stoked. It's like just seeing that part when Norman Reedus in gameplay walks by all those things and the things flapping. That's all I needed to know to see, like, yes, this is a horror game. This is what I'm looking for. I'm excited. Yeah. They showed some new characters. One is being played by the actress that played the Bionic Woman in that series, $6 Million Man or whatever. Yeah, though they modeled her to look much younger, like she did in the Bionic Woman days, and she's voicing herself. I think that's very cool. They showed another actress I didn't recognize, but you got the Bionic Woman in the game. Cool. I think they showed Spider-Man next. No, I think they ended on Spider-Man. Either way, I don't remember what order. I'll talk about Spider-Man anyway. Yeah, Spider-Man's looking very good. I felt like we saw enough of Spider-Man already, though. Like, I know what gameplay's gonna look like. It's just kind of like semi-Arkham. Well, this trailer made the combat look a lot less like Arkham. It looks a little more like hack and slashy, but with your web powers. Yeah, the plot is all the Spider-Man villains break out of jail and they gotta kill Spider-Man, but they can't kill him because the bad guy wants him alive, or so, I don't know, it's just a plot to Arkham. One of the Arkham games, all the bad guys get out, but I mean, it's an iconic superhero, and that's what you want, just taking on all the villains. So yeah, Spider-Man game looking better than ever, can't really say much more about it, but I'll save what I'm most excited for last. That Capcom announcement, you guys know, but Ghost of Tsushima was the game I was most looking forward to seeing, because we know the least information about that. We've only had the one CG trailer. Well, it wasn't CG, it was all in-game graphics. This game looks beautiful. Like, the graphics and environments and the character models and the animations are amazing looking. However, I think it looks boring. Like, it just looks like it's sticking to a lot of mechanics that were getting very old in like 2010. Like, just the way he kind of parkoured up to the roof, and then he leaned over, and it looks like you just push a button, he dropped the drop kill from like Arkham or like Assassin's Creed. It's like, this is stuff that I'm so done with. The combat just looks like it's Assassin's Creed level combat, where you're just kind of holding the block button, and then you like hit a button to parry, and I don't know, it just doesn't look that fun to me. I really hope I'm wrong, because based on what they were saying beforehand, it sounded very promising. They said they were going to have no mini-map, no waypoints, you just have to rely on the actual knowing your surroundings, and that sounded awesome, but then here we had just a tailing mission where you just follow some woman and she just kind of brings you there, and I don't know, I was hoping, this is... If there's one game I'm most disappointed with, it's this one. Like, I thought it was going to be awesome, and it just looked like another game that's just... I feel like everything in this trailer, I've played games that's done all this, like, too many times before. I mean, visually, it looks gorgeous, but that's just me. Ghost of Tsushima... I hope next time they show gameplay it's just something more interesting, that's all. And those were the big four that they showed. There was a couple of other announcements here and there. Between trailers, they showed a little skit that was made in Media Molecule's new game, Dreams, that they didn't clarify, that they didn't say, hey, these were made in Dreams. That's something I had to, like, Google and, like, find out in an interview later, but, yeah, that's cool, like, all of that stuff. No, they showed, like, after the conference, there was some gameplay stuff, like a Nintendo Treehouse style thing, where they actually showed a new FromSoft VR game, which it looks like it's taking place in, like, an older English setting. No gameplay. And that's the thing about VR games, is VR games physically play physically differently from video games with the controller. So when I see a VR game, I need to see gameplay, or I don't know what makes it special, you know? And they didn't show gameplay, just a concept trailer, so... I have no reason to really... I mean, a VR game for FromSoft, sure, but I just wish they showed some gameplay instead of just, like, environment shots. But yeah, back to Media Molecule, they showed some Dream stuff. The way you construct levels in that, it's like Little Big Planet in 3D, but it's more like you're molding clay, I guess you could describe it. It looks very cool. Looks like I could make a platformer out of this. I'm excited for this. It's gonna be pretty sick. But yeah, that's, like, pretty much everything they showed, except I'm saving the thing that I want to talk about most for last. And the way this trailer showed, it shows like from a mouse's perspective and some arguing going on, and then the mouse gets killed, and then there's like a zombie, and I thought, oh great, another zombie game. The gun fires, it's Leon S. Kennedy, RE2 Remake 2. It's the Resident Evil 2 remake. Oh my god, it looks so good. I was watching gameplay of it. It looks like a wonderful blend of RE4 and RE7. It's got the chilling environments of like RE7, like the horror, and the rationing of ammo and gameplay from RE4. Like, it looks like the combination of my two favorite RE games, and it's like, man, I'm so excited for this. It looks so good. I shouldn't get too pumped because, like, RE games have been disappointing before. Like, RE6 was very disappointing. I think RE6 was still a fun action game. I actually beat that game with a friend. Or at least I played through Leon's and Chris's campaigns with a friend online, and it's very fun, but it's like, this is not a survival game. This looks like a survival game. Like, there's zombies everywhere, it looks like you're rationing your ammo. Ammo's very scarce. I can't wait for this to come out. It's coming out like February or January. It's coming out like early next year. Man, I'm excited as hell. It's because, like, I'm just so pumped because, firstly, I didn't expect them to show this. Because it was in the back of my mind. The last thing I was thinking of thinking about, because they mentioned that they were remaking RE2 like long before RE7 even came out. Like, this has been a thing for a long time, and we've never seen it, and now we're finally seeing it. Again, running on the RE7 engine, the lighting's amazing, the character models look so good. Yeah, I cannot wait for this. And lastly, we got my boy Nintendo. Nintendo's the one that I always get most excited for, because Nintendo has been around longer than anything else that's still like doing conferences. They have the most IPs that people cherish and love, and yeah, I'm a fanboy at heart when it comes to Nintendo. Though a lot of people said they were like really disappointed with Nintendo this year. I'll get to that after, when I talk about like what I thought of E3 as a whole. But yeah, Nintendo started off by showing this brand new mecha game, and I thought it was going to be Xenoblade Chronicles X2, because I heard that they want to make X2 as well as Chronicles 3, and I loved X2. I loved it even more than Chronicles 1 and Chronicles 2. Xenoblade Chronicles X is my shit, and it looked like a sequel to that, and in between they had like all these, it was showing the letter X, and I'm like, oh man, it was called Daemon X Machina. I don't know how you pronounce that. Daemon? Oh, it's being made by Marvelous Entertainment. Yeah, they're not really a company I know much about. Yeah, it's just a company making this sick-looking game. It looks awesome, though. Like, the cell shading looks really good. Yeah, it looks cool. It's exclusive for Switch, I think. But that was, like, weird. This is the first thing they show. I think they're getting pretty ballsy this E3, and I think that's why a lot of people are very disappointed, because they're like starting off, they're kicking it off with a brand new game, and they're showing a lot of new, there was a lot of new IPs this year, like that Babylon game by Platinum Games, and that The Quiet Man. You know, they're showing a lot of new IPs this year, and I think people just think they're disappointed because they're not seeing sequels to games they're already familiar with, and that is understandable, because I mean, with a new IP, you don't know what it's going to be like, where if it's a sequel to something you love, well, you know you're going to love it. Or, you know, there's a good chance you'll love it. It's something you're looking for. So, I think that's why a lot of people felt disappointed, just because it's just a lot of new stuff. But I mean, I'm really glad there is a lot of new stuff this year. But yeah, anyway, that Daemon X Machina game, whatever it's called, that looks really fun. I really want to see more of that. They showed more of Pokemon Let's Go. A lot of people are like hating on this, but like they already said that like the next real Pokemon game is coming out the next year. I feel this is a really good idea, because I'm not a Pokemon guy. I'd never played Pokemon Go. I've only ever played through 2 Pokemon games, like Yellow and Silver, back in high school. This is a fantastic idea. A really good way of getting the casual audience, the really casual audience that only plays on phones, that they kind of sucked in with Pokemon Go, who love Pokemon now, and now these people want to switch. Let me tell you something. I just got back from a vacation when I went to New Jersey to visit some friends, and when I was going through security, I had to like take out all my electronics and show security. They saw I had Nintendo Switch, and it was this really nice security lady, and she goes, "Oh, you got the Switch?" She asked me like how it was. She goes, "That new Pokemon Go game's on it. I've never had Nintendo console, but I really want to get it just for that." And she was telling me how she liked the Pokemon thing. This is a fantastic marketing. This is a genius business strategy. They're getting in those casual mobile people with Pokemon Go, putting a new Pokemon Go game on the Switch, and those people are going to get the Switch, and then those people are going to get the next real Pokemon game after. That's what they're doing. I think this is an awesome idea. I don't care about Pokemon, but huge respect to Nintendo for doing this. It was just that conversation I had at the airport where it just clicked with me. I'm like, oh wow, that's brilliant. Oh, this was one thing I didn't expect, but my friends and I like, whoa, this looks like it could be good. Super Mario Party. It just finally looks like a regular Mario Party game. It has online too, which I heard, but only for like playing mini games. Why not with friends? I don't know. Like, a lot of my friends live in the States, and I want to play Mario Party with them online. We've tried to do that through emulators, and it always gets messed up at one point, like halfway through, our emulators desync. Give me a real official Mario Party game online, whatever. Either way, I'm still happy that we're finally getting a new Mario Party game that looks good. Again, they could still mess it up. I mean, they had Mario Party the Top 100, that sounds awesome, they still messed that up too, so I'm hoping, I mean, it does look like it's finally the Mario Party game that could be good. I'm still gonna be skeptical of it just from experience of Mario Party games being disappointing, but still, I'm optimistic for this one. It looks like this could be the one. I think they showed some more Mario Tennis Aces stuff. I mean, I've seen enough of that game. They sure you can beat Blooper though. Blooper is like one of my favorite Mario characters. That's gonna be sick. I like how he walks like his little toesies. That's gonna be sick. But yeah, I don't know. Yes, they showed Fortnite on the Switch. They showed this trailer, and they're like, hey, Fortnite is out on the Switch now! Which, I love it when they do that. I mean, Fortnite on the Switch, it's not something I care about, so it's not like, oh yeah, I gotta go download it. This happened later, I'll tell you in a bit, right after this. Fortnite on the Switch is logical. If they got the game running on mobile phones, they gotta have it on the Switch. I've played Fortnite once with friends. I thought it was fun, but it wasn't my thing. But Fortnite on the Switch, another platform, makes a lot of sense for it, so that's cool. And after that, then they showed Holo Night coming to the Switch. Boom, now on the Switch. I grabbed my Switch, I bought it and downloaded it. I actually played a lot of Holo Night on my plane ride back to Nova Scotia, and I really like it. I used to say I hate Metroidvania games, but I realized I just hate Castlevania games and I like Metroid games, because I like Super Metroid, I love Axiom Verge, I hate Symphony of the Night. I know you're mad at me, but I just do not like that game. And I always ask, when people say it's a Metroidvania, I say no. Is it a Castlevania or a Metroid game? A lot of people are telling me Holo Night is more Castlevania, though I think they're only saying that just because you have a melee weapon, and it's like not futuristic. I don't think what dictates Metroid versus Castlevania is the setting, like one's old, one's future, and like whether you have a gun or a physical weapon. I'm talking more about how much RPG elements are involved. You don't level up in Holo Night from what I've played so far like you do in Castlevania. You're picking up a new cape every 2 seconds, a new sword every 2 seconds. I hate that. Let me just get like eight upgrades. Throughout the game, if I get 8 significant upgrades instead of 100 tiny ones, that's what I like. And Holo Night has been that so far. This is an E3 video, I'm talking about Holo Night. But I just want to let you guys know, yeah, I am liking Holo Night so far. The game's adorable. It is playing closer to Metroid than I expected, so I am liking it. And then, they dropped the big one, Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is not at all what I was expecting. I think the way they showed it off was so good. It wasn't like 4 or Brawl, where they slowly unveil all the returning characters. No, we're showing all the returning characters right now. They show like Mario and Luigi and all them. Then they show Zelda, and Zelda's got her A Link to the Past design, or A Link Between Worlds, depending on who you are. And Link's got his Breath of the Wild design, so it's like, yeah, this is a brand new Smash Bros. And then you see Snake, and it's like, yo, Snake's back. And then they're like, hey, everyone's back. So every character from every Smash Bros. Game, I think they're gonna have every stage and every item from every Smash Bros. too. I mentioned on Twitter, it'd be awesome if they had every announcer, like all 4 announcers, come back and redo like all their lines in like, because like sometimes I'm just in the mood for the way too much reverb voice from Melee, you know? And it'd be cool if they had all 4 options and you could pick either one. Maybe not Brawl, because Brawl and 4, they're different voice actors, but they're kind of like really similar. But either way, Xander Mobus said he is returning as the Smash Bros. Announcer, so it's the same announcer from 4. There's still an argument over whether or not this is a port, though Nintendo said this is a brand new game built from the ground up, though they are reusing a lot of assets and models and stuff. Like Mega Man's model is exactly the same, though the shaders look different, the lighting looks different. Some of the models are totally new, like Snake's model, obviously totally new. Wolf's model looks so much better. He has like the eye patch, the cool jacket, instead of like whatever the hell he's wearing in Brawl. Pichu's back, obviously. Yeah, and they introduced a new concept called Echo Fighters, which is what they wanted to do originally. So like Dark Pit is an Echo Fighter of Pit. I shouldn't get too far into this. I am sure you guys already know this. You can look up this information. I think that's a cool way of handling it. And then they showed the brand new character, other than Inkling, which we already knew from the previous trailer. Inkling looks like they play very interestingly. And then Ridley. I was not expecting Ridley. No one is expecting Ridley because everyone kept saying Ridley's too big. I think Sakurai even said at one point he's too big, but no. I think that was awesome. And I think it's mostly awesome because for the whole series, like if you think of Nintendo's most iconic series, the first 3 that come to my mind, Mario, Zelda, Metroid. Metroid's the 3rd one that comes to my mind. And they've only had 1 Metroid character 4 games in a row. 2 if you count Zero Suit Samus, but they're the same person. And I've always thought Smash needed more villains. I think Brawl was great at adding more villains. They had like DDD and Wolf, and I'm thinking, where's the villains from Metroid? And there it is, Ridley. That's awesome that they're finally putting in Ridley as a playable character. It's funny because Ridley has been in every Smash Bros. Game. He's in the background of a stage in Smash Bros. 1. He's in the opening cinematic of a Melee. He's Stage Hazard in 4. I skipped Brawl. He's a boss in Brawl, and here he is finally in the game playable, and I think that's awesome. So I think Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's not what I expected, but I think it's awesome. It's a collaboration of every character and everything from every Smash. And then it looks like they're adding 2 new characters so far, Inkling and Ridley. I'm hoping they show at least maybe 2 or 3 more characters before it comes out. And here's where I'm just going to drop the characters I want. I say this on Twitter all the time, but I know not all of you follow me on Twitter, so here it is in a video. Characters I want in Smash Bros. Rayman, obviously. Oh man, they had Bomberman as an assist trophy. I've never felt so betrayed in my life. Like, they finally get Snake back, so obviously they got connections with Konami for this game. And they get Bomberman, but they don't put him in playable, they have him as an assist trophy. Same with Waluigi. Waluigi needs to be a playable character. Waluigi is a genuinely goofy, hilarious, and endearing character. His moveset should just be all about the sports games because that's where he came from. One of his moves could be the dice. He could easily represent all of the Mario sports titles in the Mario Party games, and I don't know why they haven't done that. Easy moveset, super cool character he could have been, but nope. And they got Daisy in there as an Echo Fighter. Like, come on, how are you gonna have all of the princesses and all of the Mario Bros, like even Wario, except Waluigi? Come on, what are you doing, guys? But again, adding more characters. I want to see Rayman. I really want to see the Elite Beat Agents slash the Owen Don guys, the cheerleader dudes. They could just be different costumes. If they can make a whole moveset out of yoga poses, they can do one out of dance moves. Easy. I think that'd be cool. And then a rhythm-heavy character. I just want Karate Joe or something like that. Those are the characters I'd love to see. I'm not going to get, like, too greedy and pick, like, a bunch. Cooking Mama would be really cool, but I don't know if she's actually Nintendo. But, like, moveset out of, like, cooking supplies and, like, there's been other Mama games, like Babysitting Mama. You can get, like, a bunch of stuff in there. In the different games. Yeah, that'd be cool. So, yeah, that was E3 2018. Is that the year? It's 2018, right? Yeah, 2018. I'm dumb as hell. I apologize. But E3 2018, a lot of people were saying that they were kind of disappointed. I would not say I was disappointed. There were some games I was so happy to see. The Resident Evil 2 remake, Death Stranding gameplay, the new Smash Bros. There's a couple of new IPs that look interesting, even if we didn't get to see gameplay, like The Quiet Man and that new Platinum game, Babylon whatever, and that new mech game from Marvelous. There's a lot of new stuff, and yeah, I'd just say that there was some things that I was disappointed not seeing, especially from Nintendo, because Nintendo's such a big company. I think the biggest thing they did wrong is no Metroid Prime 4 trailer, only because they set it up and they didn't follow through. They had that announcement. It was a huge announcement last year, and I think they were just kind of going a little, they're getting a little too greedy with the announcements. Like, hey, we got this and this and this and this. And they didn't follow up with a lot of that this year, and I think they just wanted to do that just to be like, oh, we have a new console, we gotta let you know there will be games for it. And now they're only showing us what they have gameplay of, but man, that Metroid announcement, and they didn't follow up on it. Like, they didn't even need to show gameplay. As if they just had another trailer showing the ship landing and Samus coming out of it, and we saw what the graphics look like, that would have been enough for me. Just something, a teaser, just a 3D model of Samus, anything. I think that was the biggest thing I was disappointed with this E3. Though, I wouldn't say that I should be disappointed in not seeing a lot of stuff, because I think you should concentrate more on being happy about what they did show. I think complaining that they didn't show something you wanted, I think that's just a little juvenile, you know? Be happy for what you got. I think the Metroid one's understandable just because they lined it up and didn't knock it down. That's all. But yeah, even still, I'd say this was not a disappointing E3 for me. It was just a very diet E3. There was not a lot of announcements. I think they kind of like overdid it with the announcements last year, and that's just kind of expected. Sony and Nintendo especially, if they have a bunch of announcements one year, you're not going to have enough left over for the next year. So while it was not a disappointing E3, it was definitely a diet E3. They had a couple of things I was so pumped about, but not a lot of things I was pumped about. And, well, even if you just have a couple of things, I'm very happy to see. That's all I need. So, yeah. That was E3 2018. That's everything I thought about it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of games I missed. Because, I mean, I can only remember so much. Look how long this video's gone on. I'm just rambling on about everything. But, yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me, what I talk about. stuff that I thought was cool. I apologize for the bad grammar and stuttering. I'm just still tired from the jet lag from getting home. I was awake for 70 hours at the airport because we left Friday night and we didn't get home till Sunday morning because the flight waits were so long. So I apologize for feeling tired and bad talk right now. But hey, that's me. I'm your boy Nitro. Good night.